afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Real Talk with Just for Girlfriends. I am excited to be here today. We are without Michelle, but she may be able to jump on a little later. Our third co-host, which most of you are used to seeing, Michelle Skinner, is on her way home from out of the country. So we hope she had a nice, rewarding, and restful vacation. But let's just jump into this. Robin, how are you? Is Robin? Oh, you were frozen a little.
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Very
I
good.
was frozen. Happy Monday.
Happy
Happy
Monday.
Monday.
And sometimes being frozen on Monday is about what happens.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So for
Yes.
those who are new to Real Talk with Just for Girlfriends, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Angelique David. I am the founder and CEO of Just for Girlfriends. Just for Girlfriends was formed in 2017 with the purpose and mission of helping women embrace self-care by providing unique and fun and engaging events. So we do live events in the Chicagoland area. We also take annual trips. It's just a really, really fun place to let off some steam, take off all your hats, and enjoy self-care. Please follow us at at www.justforgirlfriends.com, and you can follow any of our social media handles at Just for Girlfriends. Robin, introduce yourself. Oh, Robin, I think you are frozen again. There you go.
Yeah, I think I can hear you, but I'm here. It looks like I'm moving, but then it maybe there's something going on where others can't see me. So I apologize. I'll try to fix that in a little bit. So I am Robin McFarland. I am a board member of Just for Girlfriends, the proud very first member of Just for Girlfriends, amongst many other things, wife, mother, working really hard, worker over here. That's all I can muster up today on a Monday. But I'm glad to be here, and I'm so excited to speak with Niya today.
Wonderful. Yes, we're gonna get into Niya and learn about this amazing young artist and really how to try new things. I know if anyone watched our last show, we really talked about in the new year how to be the new you. So as part of the new you, we're gonna follow that up with trying new things. But before we get into that, Robin, what's been on your mind?
So I was thinking about this, right? Because last week was an epic week. We had a lot going on last week, right? We had an
I'm sure you
inauguration.
had a lot going on.
We had an inauguration. We have a new leader of our free world, the United States. So some of the things that I was thinking about is self-care. And that is, in times that can be challenging for you, character building times, but also the good times. So I will say last week I played 3 songs. I'll put it in the chat later. I played 3 songs by Miranda Curtis, no less than 200 times. I probably ran my fastest 2.5 miles on the treadmill listening to it, but it was helpful. And I was like, this is just what I needed. So some other things I was, as it's Monday, and I will tell you, I feel like I need 5 more cups of coffee, but I will not do that. Just because it's late, but maybe 1 more cup. But I was just thinking about what else can I do to keep myself balanced? For many of us, January is just, we come off this wonderful holiday, we get some rest. We knew some things were coming, but you might have a little bit of stress, but also for work, January has been crazy busy as we start to plan out the year. And some excitement as I start planning out my life and trips and stuff for the year. But here's a couple things that I am focusing on as it pertains to self-care, being really specific and trying to think through those things. In fact, more sleep. So trying to get more sleep.
Okay.
So let me just say, I've been trying this. I go to bed late. And so I try to sleep until at least 6 a.m. Now, I don't know many of you, I can't sleep past about 3. So I'm trying not to get on my phone and do other things and sleep. So I'm being really intentional about not having coffee late or tea late, but hot water and doing those things that can have me sleep. I'm also, which I don't do, and I think a lot of women don't do, I'm validating my own feelings. Sometimes we're just so
Oh,
strong.
I
We're
love
just like,
that.
whatever. They're like, this isn't, keep going, keep moving, keep pushing, keep doing. And I'm like, no, right? Like, I'm stressed out right now, or I'm feeling a certain kind of way. This deserves a moment. Robin, gather yourself. Hence, I played those songs 200 times last week. So just kind of listening to my body a little bit more as I could feel the stress rising. Those are the two things that I'm doing. But there are some other things that I wanted to point out and share today. It was saying limit your exposure to triggers.
That's a good one.
They said limit your exposure to
Yeah.
triggers, seek support. So if you need to seek professional support, or if you need to call your friends, or if you need a dinner, or if you need call your mom, dad, whoever, sister,
Mhm.
brother, do that. So seek support, maintain your routine. The other big thing, I haven't got there, but I think this is going to be third on my list, is express yourself. Again,
Mhm.
sometimes we're so strong, we express ourselves to ourselves and with ourselves and not to others. So expressing yourself, and it already talked about seeking support, but also really seek professional help, and do not isolate yourselves in times where you don't feel 100%, or you feel uncomfortable, those types of things. So I think that's what's been on my mind. Again, there are things that are stressful. It happens to be January. I also think I came off of 2 weeks of vacation and
Yeah.
love and fun and family and peace. And then you come back into what I call the real world. And we have a lot of things going on in our world right now that we have to deal with, especially as a Black woman, women of color, people of color. And so just to be mindful and take care of yourself through this time, because it will pass, right? We'll get through it. We're going to be okay.
I love all of that. And
That's
it
it.
just, all of that truly resonates with me. You said a couple of things, I wrote them down. Express yourself. I think that is really, really key, because that's that validation. That's the open up, talk about it, say, I'm not okay, or this wasn't
Mhm.
okay, or that. That is, I think, very, very helpful. And it reminds me, when you talked about allowing other people, don't isolate yourself. We had a guest on a
Mhm.
prior show, and I don't even remember what show, because that's another blessing, is we've been doing this show for 2 3
Yeah.
years now. So quite a while. Actually, we might be on 4. We started in 2021, so we're on 4 years.
Oh,
Mm.
I feel like it was 2020. It was 2021.
It was
Okay.
January 2021 was our very
Okay.
first
All
show.
right. Yeah. 4 years. Four
So
years.
this is our anniversary. Happy
Happy
anniversary.
anniversary.
Anniversary. So we miss Michelle. We'll have to do a little anniversary toast or something.
Yeah.
But the point was, when you allow others to help you, especially when you've been the strong one, start flipping your mentality. You're actually helping them, because people typically, and your friends around you, want to help, and it makes them feel good to help you. So when you close everybody off, oftentimes friends, of course, will let you have your space, but they want to be there. So you're
Yeah.
actually helping them when you're there, because you're allowing them to be the friend that they want to be. So
Yep.
get ready for some more calls, Robin. I got some
Yeah.
topics for you.
That's good. Yeah, I'm ready. And then I see our dear friend Carmela Wimbley, who is also a board member of J for G. She says trying to balance life is a delicate act. It's right. Like sometimes you feel like you're gonna fall off the life wheel there, and then other times you feel like you got it together, and at times it's moment to moment. It could be every 5 minutes I might have something else going on. So yes, Carmela,
Yeah,
and welcome here.
it's I'll grab one of Michelle's things, because Michelle always has very funny things that her kids have said or done. And my youngest daughter,
Yes,
did something funny
yes,
on this whole topic. So just like everyone else, life has been lifing for me this last January. Since January 1, it just kicked the door down. But I was sitting there, and I'm very, very authentic with my kids, and we have very real conversation, and we talk, and they've seen me vulnerable, and they've seen me strong. And I was having a little moment, and I was tearing up. And my youngest daughter says, and she knows what I'm going through, and she says, "Mom, it's okay. You're like a glow stick." I said, "A glow stick?" She said, "Sometimes you gotta break it for it to then start glowing, and it will be beautiful."
Oh,
I
how
look at
sweet
it,
is that?
I'm not sure about that analogy, but okay, right now I'm in the glow stick breaking mode.
Because I was thinking something else about glow stick, but I,
So
I
we're in the breaking mode, but I'm trusting that I will soon start glowing. So
yes, yes. Yeah, and January, right, is a time for a new start, refresh. That's not always easy, right? We end of the year, we are starting things over, right? And just we've been conditioned to believe that anyway, but it just so happens that people's fiscal years are just busy times,
yeah.
kids going back to school, that it's not as it's just not easy to do, and so it does require some dedication, some balance, and just really being focused on. I always say you can only do about two or three good things really good at the same time, so just pick a couple, pick
But
one.
I'm glad that's a
Yeah.
great segue to our guest today. So today we are talking about trying something new and trying things. So we have an amazing guest today. We have a young artist. Her name is Niya Athiena, and she has a fabulous song. I love all of today's hip hop, and some hip hop's more ratchet than others. But I love to see a young artist that's really talking about something different, something really that resonates to J4G, which is self care, trying new things, and we never practice the script here, and your conversation kind of led us right to this song. So without further ado, we're going to play a clip of Niya's song and then bring Niya on.
Sometimes I don't realize it, but I feel like I'm all knowing. Instinctual progression, pay attention, feel the message. And if whatever does me in, well, then at least I tried. Time, 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 time to try out. Time.
I love it.
Yay.
Niya, welcome.
Love it.
Welcome to Real Talk with Just for Girlfriends. So, time to try. That is just, and I think it's a concept that is probably well beyond your years, that most people even our age are not really.
We're still saying time to try. Like
right.
we're
Still
saying
time
to try.
So tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, how long you've been doing music, and then let's get into what made you come up with this song.
Okay, hi, I'm Niya Athiena. I have been doing music. I'm pretty sure you ask anybody. I've been doing music since I could talk. But I'm from Cleveland. I have been writing music probably the longest. I've always known that I wanted to be an artist. But in the most recent years, I've been able to go to school for audio engineering. So now I'm an audio engineer at a music studio. So I'm constantly working with other artists, as well as just, doing my independent artistry as well.
That's wonderful. So what time to try? Tell me about this. Like where'd you get the concept from? What in your life have you been trying? Talk to us.
Honestly, yeah. So my journey through music has been quite a lot of twists and turns. I always, like I said, I always knew I wanted to do music, but I was following the pathway that I thought I was always supposed to do. So it's led me to, beautiful cities. Like I went to college fresh out of high school. Mind you, I'm a 2020 graduate. So that was crazy enough as it is. And I still was like, well, I guess I got to go to college, despite everything that was happening. And I went all the way to New Orleans, Louisiana, which is like one of the most artistic cities in the country. So I went there, I saw the vibrancy of the art, the music. I went for mass communication, which has nothing to do with necessarily what I want to do, but I felt like it was a good segue. I enjoyed it, but something spoke to me, like the music just kind of spoke to me in a way where it was like I was doing music, but I wasn't doing it to the extent that I imagined. So that's when I decided to come home and go to audio engineering school back in Ohio. And it led me to, you know, discovering this studio. And I remember they were like, they're taking interns. I said, bet. And I applied that night, and I waited a month, and I ended up interning and getting hired on as an engineer. So throughout that journey, throughout that process, I have been creating so much more because I was making it my lifestyle. And I remember working on an entire album in school. After the album was like done, like from however much my skill set was then, I wrote this song just on a whim. Like I was just like, okay, let me just write a song. Let me just make a song. I was producing it. I was just getting into producing. A couple years later, I'm like, you know, this song is actually really inspiring, and I think I want to use that as my rebrand as an artist, and really just kind of open up the floodgates of like, this is who Niya Athiena is. This was the first song for me. So
Time to try. I love that.
Yeah.
So you talk about your journey, and I think one thing that really resonated with me of the things you said was, so often people think there is a path they are supposed to take because that's where you started, and everyone's journey is different, and there is no linear path, and there's no right way or there's no wrong way. I think we get stuck with, you have to go to college, you have to get a degree, you have to get this, you have to get that, and this is how we go about it. But there's twists and there's turns, and you often hear the stories of billionaires who did not take the most quote unquote traditional journey. So kudos for you for having the bravery, because trying starts with bravery.
Yeah, definitely. And it was hard.
It is hard. Yeah. And how important was your support system throughout that? And I say that just because I know your wonderful mother and some others. So how important was that as a part of your journey?
I think honestly, especially now, like being in the position that I'm in and learning the things that I've learned, my mom has definitely been always opened up the space for me to be myself and be creative. Even like as a child, she always said, like, I worked so that y'all could create. So it's like I've always had that, like, I've always kind of stood firm in myself and like, no, this is who I am. This is what I'm going to do. So being able to like take that out into the world and just be like the confident artist that I am today, even when she didn't understand why I was doing what I was doing. Like, you know, you tell your parents you don't want to go to college anymore. They're like, what? Like, what you gonna do? You know?
Yeah.
But like, as she's watched me, you know, find my way in this journey, she's always been in my ear, like, constantly just kind of pouring into my confidence and reminding me like, hey, you is the one, like, and you know you're the one, so don't come into this industry and let them tell you you're not, because I deal with that. Like, that's just the reality of it, you know.
Yeah,
so
and
definitely
I think,
helps.
well, but what you're saying is every industry. So I just recently had a conversation with a doctor who was saying, especially for Black and brown doctors, you come into the industry and you're questioned, and your diagnosis is questioned, and your opinions in question. I know that when I was at the law firm, that was absolutely the case. If a Black or brown associate said, may had a typo, it was, oh my God, I know they couldn't write, versus the counterpart, it was, oh, they're just having a bad day. They just missed it. So that you say something, and those of us who are parents should really, I hope, are listening to that, is pour into your kids. Make sure that you are giving them the confidence they need to deal with this world. And then we're not even going to talk about all of the changes that have happened last week, because I think that's just going to exasperate things. Yeah. Robin, you were going to say something?
Yeah. And I was going to say, and as an artist, right, having that confidence, right, is just so important, because it's a talent only you can do, right? There might be a job or a role out there that 10 people can apply for, but you are just so unique in that, and having that confidence to do that. Kudos to not only you, but also to your parents. And that's the fun thing about being a parent, is that we get to help build dreams. I heard somebody say one to a parent, like, don't be a dream killer. Like you feed into the dreams, right? Like you don't kill them. So I think that is wonderful. I think as I was looking at your video, not only listening to the words, but the artistry behind it, right? So you're not only speaking the words, but so far as the camera angles, the ups and the downs, the red background, which really caught me. I was like, that was pretty cool. That's pretty slick. So where did that kind of piece of the artistry come in? Because it's one thing to be able to rap, sing. It's another thing to have a vision. Usually people hire directors to do that. And I don't know which way you did. So can you tell us about that piece?
I actually, so it's funny because it was so last minute, but I had the vision in my head. I knew what scenes I wanted, and it was such a simple setup. So I actually had my friend from the studio that I work at film me, get all the raw footage, and I was like, I'm gonna edit it myself. So all of the edits that are done, I've done completely myself. It took me like 7 hours, but once I started, I couldn't stop. So I was just like, okay, like it's working, it was coming together. And honestly, like, I'm very intentional with everything that I do. Like, this song was produced by me, it was written by me, like everything was thought out. So when I saw the vision of the white background, I wanted to start with something that's kind of familiar to people. And then when you hear that alarm clock, it's like kind of the red like wakes you up, and it's like, oh, like it's time to try it. Like, so it all made sense with like what I was doing. I was like, red means get up, go, stop, like stop, think, it's time to try. So it kind of all worked out.
I love that. It does make you stop and think, like, what am I gonna, what do I need to go get up and do? Because I gotta get out of my comfort zone. And one of your lyrics is, well, at least I tried. Like, even if you fail, you have to try. Otherwise, you're back in the same place. I always tell my kids, go, whether it's asking for a raise, whatever it is, what's the worst that can happen is you're back in the place. But if you don't at least move forward and take that action, you never will see change. So
you'll never know. Yeah.
No, right. And and it's inspiring, right? Because you're trying new things. Sometimes we old folks, I'm not that old though, Niya, but we us that are a little bit older, right? We get so stuck, and trying can be that much harder. I mean, you're doing this trying thing young. I think it's wonderful and inspiring to me as well.
Absolutely inspiring. So I have a question. So I love this positive message. Your vibe is different. I love all of that. How has that been for you as an artist when a lot of the mainstream music you hear is a little bit more ratchet, frankly? Like, how is that breaking into the industry with a more positive vibe, which I frankly love?
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's never affected me before because I grew up listening to hip hop. Like, I grew up listening to whatever my dad had on the radio that day. But I started to really explore different genres in middle school when I started hearing like Panic at the Disco, like bands and rock and alternative. So I don't really kind of put myself in the same category as anything that's like popular right now. So for me, it's like I'm doing something, especially even in Cleveland, like the Cleveland music industry is very like rap, heavy and trap music and stuff like that. But I always told myself that the genre that I will fit in is the genre that I create. And so honestly, like I worked with a lot of, when I was like learning and stuff in school, all of the people that I worked with were men, like, so they all was trap artists and they all was producing different beats and stuff. And we had to work together on a lot of stuff. So I was able to kind of diversify myself in a way of like, I'm rapping on a trap beat with these guys that's talking about whatever they talking about, but I'm still saying what I want to say and it still sound good. So it was actually kind of fun. Like, it's fun to like kind of introduce those crowds to me because they actually do like it. They be like, oh, you kind of different. And I'll be like, yeah,
I love that.
In the box. Yeah.
I love it. And so now, have you always been a performer in that? Yes, you like music, but the crowd, the people, the hyping, like, has that always been you, or?
actually, that's kind of what made me want to be an artist. Like, I did a talent show in like, it was like my first talent show in second grade. And I remember it so vividly because my mom was supposed to print out the lyric the day before or the week before, but she didn't do it till the day before. So I was learning the lyrics, but I already kind of knew the song because it was a High School Musical song. So I used to play the game. So I'm like, okay, I know a little bit, but I was learning them lyrics. I learned all them lyrics the day before. And I got up on that stage and I actually got everything. Like I said everything I was supposed to say, and I was in second grade. So after that, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I think I want to keep doing this. And that was like, that literally was the moment where I was like, oh yeah, music is going to be my thing. So I've always been a performer. Like I've been in choir, I've been in theater. I love theater. I actually forgot how much I love theater until just recently. But I've been like, now knowing what I know and having the skill set that I have, I'm very excited to like start really bringing the bigger visions in my head to life, because even though it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of money, a lot of effort, a lot of help, I just know that it's going to be received well because I know like I know the ideas I have never been done before. So I'm excited.
I'm excited to see what comes out of Niya Athiena.
I am.
Don't forget us now. Oh, look at that.
Oh my God, I'm so happy to be here with you today. And I apologize for the interruption. I was watching the interview while I was in the car on the way home. And I mean, I cannot be more proud of you. You are inspiring me at this big age to get out and do something new.
Do something new.
It's never too late.
Did you hear? I was telling her, don't forget about us, because she's creating a whole new genre of music, a whole new beat, a different everything. This is so exciting.
That is so exciting. And I'm definitely going to be the one. Oh, I remember when, I remember when.
Look, I'm going on tour with you, so just
come on.
Come on. all the aunties right there on tour with you.
All the aunties.
I got seats for y'all.
Yeah. So let me ask you, what's something that you have tried? What's something new you've tried this year so far?
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say like whoever, I don't know. Like I feel like everybody's trying something new because it's the new year.
Okay, so we all answer it.
Yeah. I haven't tried it. Well, I've done it before, but my newest niche is aerial silks. So the girls that are on the fabric that hang and they do like the really cool stuff. Yeah. I actually tried that and I love it because I don't like to work out normally. Like I've never been that type to just go to the gym. So it's really good. Like it's kind of like Pilates in a way. And it's really fun. And
that's cool.
You have to make it fun. If you're going to be consistent with it, you have to enjoy it. So that's interesting. I've seen people do that. It does like you need a lot of body strength. I mean,
Jerry and I did it when we went to Savannah. So even Jerry's self was in a big old silk. It was quite hilarious.
I think I balled myself up in a cocoon and kind of took a nap after a couple spins.
It's fun. It's fun.
Robin, that would probably be more my speed. Yeah.
What's something you've tried?
What's something new I've tried? I can't. Yes. Man, it's got to be some form of workout or something that I'm trying. So I did do. I'm doing this high heat. It's not hot yoga because I don't think I think hot yoga gets to 105. This might be 90. So it's a vinyasa flow. It's called vinyasa flow. And so you get to flow freely. They show you once and then you get to try on your own. It's an hour session. I think they have 3 different things that you try. And I've been doing it at 6:30 a.m. So that's pretty new for me too, being somewhere and being ready to be in 90 degrees in some workout clothes. That's not my normal. But I'm doing that. couple things in hopes that the sauna like atmosphere will make me have this beautiful young skin, but also getting my workout in. So I'm trying something different other than regular cardio and weightlifting, something, and it's supposed to reduce stress. So I've been trying that. That's my new thing this year.
That's awesome.
I love it. That higher temperature is also supposed to help with flexibility. Have you noticed?
Yeah, so you can, you can stretch better in that high heat. Now, I will say at 6:30 in the morning, right, it's really a mental thing. Like, you got to be ready. I mean,
That's the best time to work out.
It's the best time to work, but I wanted to walk out the room at 6:30 in the morning. I was like, it's too hot up in here. Like, I'm not ready. So I am, that's like my Friday morning workout that I'm trying to be consistent with.
I love it. Michelle, have you tried something new?
The only thing I can think of is that I tried a new food. I just came in from San Juan, Puerto Rico. So I had some mofongo, which is one of their traditional dishes, incorporating rice and plantains. And I had shrimp, made it spicy. It was very good. Not something for every day because it's pretty high in carbs, but very good. Yeah. So that's the only thing I can do right now.
That's good. So I've been trying a lot of new stuff because after our last guest in December, it really prompted me to just make a lot of changes. So I chopped off my hair, trying a new haircut, trying something new. I got rid of about 10 bags of clothes. I'm purging all of my furniture and getting new furniture. I'm having someone come in and redo this office that I'm sitting in. She recently asked me, would you be okay for wallpaper? I said, I'm okay for everything. I'm trying new stuff. I don't just design it. Whatever it is, what's the worst that can happen? So I have really embraced this idea of trying new. So it was really great to see your video and song because it's kind of right where my life path is right now. So you are inspiring, young and old. You're inspiring me.
Yes. And tell me this, I'm sure, right? Trying is not always easy, right? Sometimes there's a little scary moment. So as you're doing this, making this transition, and as you work through your journey, what has been your scariest moments or fearful or, just a little concerned about, and how'd you get over it to keep moving and making something great?
I think honestly, some of my scarier moments in this journey has definitely just been there's always times where I feel like I'm not where I need to be, or I'm not getting enough business, or my skill level is not high enough, or I don't feel like, even if I am doing right, I don't feel like I'm doing it right. And in those moments, I usually just have to, sometimes, honestly, it's okay to take a break. That's what I did with this song. I wrote this song a year prior and I didn't touch it until a few months before I released it. I took a break from it. I tried different things. I have a lot of different interests. So I crochet, I paint, I do so many different things. And when the music can get overwhelming sometimes, I just kind of like to just set it down and just step away from it. And usually that will help me because I'll come back to it and I'll be full speed ahead. And I'll just start things will click for me. And that's why I always tell people sometimes you just got to stop, let it simmer, let it cook. And then
let it simmer, let it cook.
That's
come back.
All right, Glorilla, let it cook.
I like it.
A very mature response because what you described is what we call imposter syndrome. And we all go through that where we're thinking we don't belong or we aren't good enough when in fact we're killing it. So I think that the way you handled that is very, very mature. So kudos on that.
And just the idea of stopping, because you often feel like you can't stop, you got to keep going.
Yeah.
But to be able to say, you know what, I got to put stuff down and stop. That's a mature response too. You are definitely beyond your years, my dear.
Let it simmer. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that in my next meeting. We're gonna let this simmer. I like it.
Right. Yeah. Very few things are urgent and need to happen right there. I mean,
my mental health comes first. So
and some people quit. Some people quit, and you kept You had the fortitude to say, let's just let it sit here for a minute and I'm gonna come back to it. I
But
love
you
I
it.
just
always
said,
say like
you just
with
said my mental health comes first. That is key. And that is
yeah.
not, I mean, I
Yes.
struggle with that to this day, where I get deep into work and stressed out, and I'm not putting my mental health first. That's really a big thing that we push at Just for Girlfriends, and you see Black Doctor talking about if you look at different shows. But to be able to say my mental health comes first is, and I hope all of our listeners are taking that away because it is true. Your
Yes.
mental health comes first.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've always been that way too. I think because I am such a like mentally aware person, I know when I'm going to crash and like I'd rather not take myself there. So a lot of the times like if I need a break, I'm going to take a break because I don't like being burnt out because when when you low.
Yeah.
And I just don't want that for me. So I'd
Yeah.
rather be okay and miss out on money and just or miss out on creating and miss out on those things, but be mentally okay than anything. So
I love it.
I do absolutely love that perspective. And I don't know if you guys have talked about this or not, but um, anytime you're venturing out to do something different than you've ever done or something new to even those that are in your support network, you may face, rejection from who you're trying to present it to, rejection from the people who've always been by your side who might be like, what are you doing? Have you experienced that? And what advice can you give to our listeners to push past that?
definitely I've experienced that in every step of the way.
Yeah.
But honestly, it just comes back to knowing who you are and what you're meant to do. I know that I am meant to be doing this because this is something that I've always been consistent in. This is something that I have a passion for, and understanding that not everybody is going to know what you're doing. Like a lot of people have never taken the path that you're taking. So they can't really give you advice on something they've never done before. And I think that's my biggest thing, especially when it comes to like family sometimes. Like I said, I was in college, I was doing what I thought I was supposed to do. And I told my mom, hey, I don't want to do this. And, I had to deal with her and hearing like, oh, but what you gonna do if you don't do this? This is the only way. And it's like, well, no, actually there's another way, but I can show you better than I can tell you. Cleveland is a bandwagon city. I say it all the time. Like we don't support each other until it's too late. And so even if I'm not getting the support from Cleveland, which I definitely feel like there are some very gems in our city, but if I'm not getting the support from them, all I can say is, okay, y'all gonna learn, y'all gonna see, just keep that idea like y'all will see. Like you just have to be living in it and not even care what other people are talking about.
Yeah, that takes a strength. So you have to believe in
Yes.
yourself and what you're doing. So
Yeah.
just be prepared. For those of you out there that is contemplating stepping out, be prepared that you're going to have to rely on your inner strength a
Be
lot.
your own biggest cheerleader. That is, yeah,
Your own biggest
definitely.
Yes.
cheerleader, and have faith and know that you're going to walk in the journey that's meant for you.
Yeah.
Walk in the
Yes.
journey that's meant for you. That's. I think you've given our listeners a lot of gems here. Frankly, even as I'm listening to you, there have been times in my life that I've thought, oh, this is burning me out, or I don't need to do this, and have not had that same bravery or strength to say, I can't do this. I just keep pushing through, and then sometimes do crash out. So
Mhm.
it's you're giving some great gems of advice for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and when people have come to rely on you, especially for certain things, it it's hard to say no. I don't have the capacity for that now, and especially when you're in that cycle of doing something well, everybody comes to you for that, and you like that they trust you with it, or you like the reaction that you get from your colleagues or family members or whoever it is
Mhm.
when you do something. So saying no, I just don't have the capacity to handle that right now. It's a double-edged sword. You're like, oh, I'm letting people down, and also, are they gonna think I'm good for anything if I don't do it? You know what I mean? So
But
Yeah.
also just understanding, like remembering, because I had to learn that lesson too. Like if you tell somebody no and they cut you off, that's not really somebody you want in your life anyways. Because it's
Yeah.
Absolutely.
like you're setting a boundary. So it's
Yep.
like,
Yeah.
regardless of if I
So
usually
true.
say yes, if I say no, I mean no. Like,
Right. Right. They say no is a complete sentence. So yes. Yeah,
I know. This is
absolutely.
a carryover from our December.
Yeah. So Niya, okay, so
It
here's
is.
some easy ones. Who's your favorite artist? Who inspires you? And maybe two different people. Who
I
are
don't
your
know if that's an
favorite
easy
people?
one. But I think I get a lot of my inspiration from 21 Pilots. That's like one of my favorite bands ever.
Okay.
21 Pilots. And that's your favorite and where you get your inspiration from.
I have a lot of favorites. I mean, I listen to like every genre, so I have like a favorite per genre. But
Yeah.
if we talking like rappers, I don't know. Doechii, I love Doechii, like what
Oh,
she's
I
doing
love
right
her.
now. She's so
Yeah.
creative. I love that every song sounds different. Like you could listen to two different songs by her and not even know it's her. So I love the versatility in that. I like rappers that are animated like that, that are different, that can switch
Yeah.
up. So I would say she's my favorite right now.
If you could think about what you would see as success, like what would that be for you? Would that be playing it, performing in front of Super Bowl? Like what is success for you?
Mm.
Honestly, I think success for me is whatever that may look like, being able to do what I want to do when I want to do it, and be paid enough to do it. Like I just being able to do whatever it is, because I know I have so many different niches, but as a performer, as an artist, being able to be an independent artist and not having anyone controlling me in the sense of like being signed to someone that's going to tell me you got to do this, you contractual agreements. Like I've learned too much about the music industry in that sense to be played like that. I just want to be able to be an artist and be whatever Niya Athiena wants to be that day and just keep living life.
So freedom.
Just
Yeah.
literally
Being
freedom.
accepted for you and being compensated appropriately. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that.
I think we've all talked about success being freedom. So I think that
Yes.
is
We're all
that
on
is
that.
true. It's the definition of success is freedom.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. Key part.
were you gonna say something, Michelle?
No, I said, yep, nope, that's a key part. Yeah.
If you had something to tell the listeners and the world about Niya Athena, what would it be?
I would say since we're in trying times, we're probably going to be in a recession. Look out for that recession music. It's going to be great. um, just kind of just remember who you are, and it's okay to be the black sheep. It's always okay to be different because we are in a time where different is what people are looking for. People are tired of the same old, same old. It's okay to be different, stand in it, and be proud of it, and contribute to the world in a way that is positive with your uniqueness, because then that is how we get diversity. So
Yep, that's
I
got a
love
little
it.
philosophical, but
I love that. I love that.
I love it. That's a great message for our preteens and our teens.
yeah,
Embrace that. You don't have to fit in. Be yourself. That's where your strength is. Yeah. Absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely needed this on a Monday afternoon. This was,
Yeah.
thank you.
I'm ready to go try something new and
Mm.
be happy with my uniqueness. And look, after on Monday afternoons, the calls that I take after these sessions go way different than the calls I took before.
That is
Yeah.
so true. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Niya. We are so appreciative to have you here. And
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
absolutely, don't forget us when you are completely. You're doing your success. You're doing what you want to do, how you want to do it, and you're paid a lot of money for it. when we're standing there on the side, don't be forgetting us now.
We're here.
I got you.
Remind everyone where they can support you, listen to your music.
So I am on all streaming platforms as Niya Athena, Athiena. It's a little different from the normal name.
Unique.
But I'm on
Love
all
it.
streaming platforms as Niya Athena. I'm on all Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, everything. Every social media platform you can think of is Niya Athena, straight across. No asterisks, nothing crazy.
Absolutely. Well, we so look forward to seeing what you do next. I know it's going to be so amazing. And like Angelique
Definitely.
said, we're cheering you on. Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Yep.
All
Have a
right.
good day.
Next up, Michelle.
Girl chat. This is so needed. Okay, well, let's get into it. We have, and I mean, I'm happy that we have this question to ask. Somebody really needs us, ladies. Let's continue our mission of saving lives. Let's go. Okay.
All right.
So, young lady has posed this question. I've been involved with a man for about a year. From the start, he made it clear that he didn't want a relationship and he sees other women. He never lets me spend a night with him or even takes me out. So on New Year's Eve, they ran into each other out. He was with someone and so was she. This man got mad and made a scene. A few days later, he apologized and said he wants them to be exclusive now. She is concerned. What should she do in the face of him saying they want to be exclusive?
This is a juicy one.
So he didn't until he saw her with someone else, even though he was with someone else, and now he does.
Now, right. So my initial reaction is that he is running off of emotions. I don't know what he thought when he said, I don't want to be exclusive. I'm seeing other women. I don't know if he thought she wouldn't or she, I don't know where, what his mind
Sounds
said.
like they didn't talk about it. Maybe they just.
Oh, he talked about it. She said as soon as they met, he said.
I mean, but he knew he was out, but he probably
she
thought
didn't
she wasn't out
respond.
about. He probably thought she at home waiting for me or something.
He had to thought that to make a scene. How embarrassing.
Yeah.
How embarrassing for the woman.
Well, does she want to be with him? Does she want to be exclusive?
It sounds like she says, I have reservations about being exclusive with him now. What is he thinking? What should I do? So it sounds like this is something that she may have wanted, but not sure if she should jump on it or not. That's, I don't know her personally, so we can't talk to her, but that's what I'm.
It sounds, I would say, it all sounded good until it didn't. When you thought that everyone was going to be open and you were going to get someone, and then suddenly you're faced with the reality that there are other people out here and there's someone else is liking and enjoying your woman or your man. And then there was a bit of jealousy and it was like, wait a minute, I'm not comfortable with this. My advice would be, unfortunately, and this might not be very common advice, unfortunately, I think the relationship is tainted. I think when you start a relationship, it needs to be built on trust. Usually it's built on commitment. It's not emotional. It sounds as if everyone had wanted to eat their cake and have it too, until the cake and the having it too gave somebody a stomach ache. And now it's like, I don't like the stomach ache.
Right.
That
real life
relationship like that is, you have to start over now to get to a place of trust and honesty and commitment versus just going into a relationship where if that's what you both want or you both want to be exclusive. Otherwise, I think it sets you up for some heartache and a stomach ache.
I agree. And what I would do is tell him, no, thank you. We are not exclusive. We're going to see other people. And it is what it is. If he doesn't want to do that anymore, Call your boo up from New Year's Eve. That's all I can say.
Call your boo. Call that other woman.
Well, and it is interesting that she did not say what she wanted to be, right? Because I mean, does she want to be, right? That's not a part of it. She's clearly thinking about it, right?
I think at the beginning, if I'm reading between the lines, she probably wanted him to be her boyfriend, but he was like, look, I'm not doing all of that. And she wanted to have a piece of him if she couldn't have all of him.
Yeah. And I want to know, how much cutting up did he do? Like, I think I need that piece too.
He made a scene.
He made a scene.
Embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing, because then now every time you with him, they're going to be like, that's him.
Can you imagine if you out with some man or he making a scene about somebody else?
And he with somebody else.
Right.
That's so crazy.
I would have to start making a scene. It'll be a whole big mess. In fact, New Year's Eve will be canceled. Right? Nobody ringing in the New Year in this bitch. Oh. I'm sorry. Excuse me, audience. I got carried away.
Well,
there it is. Vacation, so please.
That's it. There you go.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
This situation reminds me of a TikTok I saw, and I think he was being silly, but it was so funny. He said he was messing with, the TikTok said, he was telling a story. He said he was messing with a woman who he knew was involved with another man, but he was okay being the side piece. He said, and then the guy called him and said, hey, I know you've been cheating with my woman, but I need you to take her out this weekend because I got something else to do. I actually got somebody else too. So take her out. He said, so he
didn't want to do it anymore, did he?
Oh, listen, this is what he said on the thing he said. He said, I found out. I said, okay. And he told him where to avoid. He said he told him where to avoid because he was going to tell him. He said, but he was like, but I was hot. So I took her to where they was going to be. You're not going to be cheating on my girl.
You're not going to be cheating on my girl. That's hilarious. I mean, that's a lot of audacity.
It's so messy. It's so messy.
That's very, very, very messy. Oh my God. Can you imagine his face when they walked up in there like, you had one job.
One job. He said, you're not going to be cheating on my girl.
Like,
to see who you are.
You can't tell me what to do. How could you even trust that he was going? Like, come on. Like,
you need to. He said, she needs to see who you are. You're not going to be cheating on my girl like that.
That's hilarious. You need to see who you are.
But he was like, I don't want to be the main. I'm good being the side. I don't want to be
he was good being the side.
That was, I want to be the main energy though. Because you know
main energy.
Exactly.
It's a lot of life being lived out here. It's a lot of life being lived out here.
It's a lot of life being lived.
It is. So I think overall, we all agree that this is not the relationship for her. So if you listen.
I like the whole start over. They'd have to start over. You'd have to redo.
How are they gonna start over?
With somebody.
That's what I don't know how you would, but it sounds like
that's what they would need to do.
That would have to be it. Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like, Robin, what you're saying is if they can have a conversation and figure out some ground rules, that it's possible.
And you grown folks. I'm assuming you're pretty grown.
Yeah.
If you can,
I think it's grown.
Right?
Well, maybe. Yeah.
You get maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Tomorrow's a new day, right? So you see what you could do. Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah. He acted like, I want to know what the lady he was with. What happened? What did she do?
Can you imagine? You're on a date and then your date starts acting up about somebody else on another date.
I hope she left. But you know what? That actually happened to me before. Now that I remember.
What?
This is not your story, is it?
It's not my story, no. But I just remembered that I turned to the woman and was like, "Can you do something with him? Like, please go do something with him." And she ended up leaving. She was mad, but
he was acting up so bad. He was acting up.
Why you are on what is going on? So that is very, very weird energy. So,
hopefully we're saving relationships out here.
Right.
I think we are.
Anybody want to tell us more? Fill in some blanks. Please do so on Facebook in the comments. I would like to get a better understanding.
Yeah, if you listen and tell us how it turned out. And
How it turned out, yeah.
how
Right.
we
They're
help.
gonna be like, we've been married for 12 years now.
Oh, oh, good. I'm gonna say happy anniversary. Oh, Michelle, I don't know.
Right. This is how we met. This is how we called. Yeah, this is how it went down. Yeah.
Speaking of anniversaries, Michelle, you weren't on at the beginning, but Robin and I realized that this is our 4-year anniversary of the show. We started Real Talk on January 2021. So happy anniversary.
Oh, thank you. And I had not realized that. Oh, that's amazing.
It is. It is. Time goes by.
Yep, I think this is going to be our best year yet. We have some really interesting things coming up. And we hope that you tune in every fourth Monday at 3 p.m. Central. You can find us on all social media platforms at Real Talk Just for Girlfriends, as you see scrolling on the screen. And next month, we have our I think it might be our favorite show of all times. We are going to have some men on discussing relationships, what they are looking for, how they want us as in women to support them. It's always one of our favorite shows, one of our most watched shows. So be ready to tune in. But in the meantime, please like this and share this with people. It was a huge inspiration. I think it's something in this episode for everyone. So like and share everywhere.
And follow Niya Athiena. We're looking forward to seeing big things come out of that young woman.
Absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely. Amazing.
And get to trying.
Yeah. Start today. Absolutely. So, well, thank you for tuning in.
Thanks, everyone.
February.
See you next month.
Yep.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.